The WORKHORSE SUREFLY airmobile is storming in with its amazing and peculiar eVTOL capabilities, and this has prompted the question, how will the future of aviation look like? Could this be the beginning of the end to the regular gasoline planes and copters that require runways and airports to function? With a fast-growing population, there will soon be no available space to stretch a 3-mile-long runway for a passenger or a cargo plane to take off. And as the proverb says, necessity is the mother of invention. You don't have to be surprised that tomorrow you'll neither need an airport to fly nor a pilot to fly you. Join us in this video as we explore the possibilities that the workhorse is promising in the aero sector. You can pause for a moment and hit the thumbs up, the subscribe button, and the bell icon to get more interesting discoveries in the airmobile sector. Let's get started. Better than any other transport means the airline industry is the one that has been under constant exponential growth since the dawn of the 21st century. Old planes are constantly being phased and new planes with brand new features are hitting the market on almost a yearly basis. In 2019 alone, according to Flight Radar 24, some 4.5 billion passengers took 42 million flights worldwide. That is an average of 115,000 commercial flights every day. With the saturation of planes in most cities' skies, US commercial air travel contributes between 3 to 4% of the country's total greenhouse gas emissions, 202.5 million tons of CO2 emissions, and 23.5% of the world's total. Therefore, the future goals, besides making air transport available to everyone in the world, should also aim at curbing CO2 emissions and the greenhouse effect. And who has the most splendid plans encircling these issues than the brand new WORKHORSE SUREFLY? The SUREFLY, a product of the WORKHORSE company located in Loveland, Ohio, United States, is a two-seat hybrid eVTOL aircraft designed by American truck manufacturer WORKHORSE Group. But in December 2019, the program was bought by Moog Incorporated for $5 million. The SUREFLY is an outgrowth of WORKHORSE drones and has quite a striking resemblance to the drones. It's interesting to note that your future copters will be piloted around by just a simple joystick. You heard it right, the SUREFLY cockpit has a small joystick between the two seats which will be used to do all the maneuvering. A few buttons for yaw and to change altitude are also placed on its simple dashboard, but all other controls besides the joystick will be executed by a simple iPad-like computer installed on the front right above the joystick. In fact, according to the company, the plans for the copters will be one unique self-drive feature whereby you'll just key onto that iPad computer your destination, then gently fall back as the computer takes over all other piloting work. Completely autonomous, in other words. You will not have to fear the weather because the SUREFLY communicates with up to 6 satellites orbiting the Earth. The copter's GPS navigation system will be exchanging data on quite a wide range of information areas including weather, geographical orientation, and maps, among others. The SUREFLY was first unveiled in Paris in 2017, and since then there have been several redesigning such as the shape of its arms, which have been rounded from their original rectangular design to add a bit of a smooth feeling. And one more redesigning is the rounding also of the arms. This is what the founder and CEO of SUREFLY, Steve Burns, said, quote-unquote, "We found that the seams of the prop arms under long-term vibration of the props started to fail, so we went with round arms." The WORKHORSE SUREFLY Personal Vertical Takeoff and Landing, or VTOL, vehicle completed its first untethered flight in late 2019. In the flight, which lasted about 10 seconds, officials from the Federal Aviation Administration, or FAA, the WORKHORSE co-founder and CEO Steve Burns were present to nod in approval of what could be well termed as the onset of a second revolution in the airplane industry. In his own words, CEO Burns said, "The first flight really proved to us what we needed to know." He added, "The energy used, the audible noise, the ease of control with the joystick, and the balancing algorithms, it really is the culmination of about 20 things we had to verify that we've been calculating for a long time." However, the SUREFLY isn't yet fully clean. Burns describes it as a hybrid aircraft. A hybrid indeed, for right behind the seats is a 200 horsepower piston generator whose work is to power the propellers? No. The work of the gasoline generator is quite minor. With its 6,000 RPM, it is used to generate electricity to charge a dual 7.5 kilowatt-hour lithium battery packs, which has 20.8 amp hours. It's also located at the rear. They are the ones that give power to the 4 sets of rotor motors that sit on 4 solid arms. The batteries also serve as capacitors and emergency backup should the generator fail. Workhorse is planning to eventually develop a 300 horsepower generator to accommodate stronger motors and consequently a bigger payload. The Workhorse Surefly's motors operate as pairs of fixed, redundant, contra-rotating propellers on each arm, much like modern personal drones. In the event of a complete failure, the Surefly has an integrated ballistic parachute that is designed to bring the craft back down to land safely. Presently, the Honda piston-powered Surefly is designed to fly up to 75 miles or 120 kilometers at a speed of approximately 75 miles per hour or 120 kilometers per hour. With an anticipated empty weight of 1,100 pounds or 500 kilograms and a maximum takeoff weight of 1,500 pounds or 680 kilograms. The Surefly can also ascend to a maximum altitude of 3,000 feet. Other key features of Surefly include the obvious VTOL or vertical takeoff and landing, GPS navigation system, the detect and avoid sensors, and a battery backup system. The choice of material for construction was taken from what will combine the qualities of strength and lightweight, the carbon fibers. Most of the Surefly body is made up of carbon fiber. This includes the fuselage, the propellers, and the propeller's arms. It's approximated to cost about $200,000 and the company is already taking orders. However, it will have to take some time before Workhorse Surefly becomes fully commercialized. Advantages: lower emissions of greenhouse gases. One common denominator that cut across all airmobile sectors is the use of gasoline, a fuel that is responsible for the greenhouse effect. Recently, it has been on a sharp ascent, and the reasons for these are pretty clear. One large turbine-powered helicopter can use a minimum of 20 gallons of fuel per hour, with some going through up to hundreds of gallons an hour. Helicopters aside, Boeing 747 uses approximately 1 gallon of fuel, about 4 liters, every second. For a 10-hour flight, it might burn 36,000 gallons or 150,000 liters. According to Boeing's website, the 747 burns approximately 5 gallons of fuel per mile or 12 liters per kilometer. It sounds tremendous, but exactly how many planes already exist in the world today? Aviation analysts Ascend found that the total number of aircraft currently in service, including passenger and cargo, is approximately 23,600. But the numbers are likely to be even more, at least according to an aviation enthusiast website, which says that there are about 39,000 planes in the world, including all commercial and military planes, and that throughout history, there have been 150,000. With all these planes burning fossil fuel, it's no surprise that global warming is at a record high. And so a move to electric airmobile like eVTOL Surefly, which produces negligible levels of these gases, will do more than alleviate the consequences of the continued use of fossil fuels. Another advantage is that Surefly doesn't need an airport and it can land anywhere at any time. Also, in comparison to helicopters, they have relatively low noise pollution. Disadvantages: of course, there are a few drawbacks as well. Many could be just because the technology is new and its infancy, and these problems will get resolved in the preceding stage of development. The disadvantage is cost. Although the Surefly technology was meant to cut the cost of obtaining a helicopter, other costs can be avoided, such as training of pilot or at least some training of kind to the users. Other disadvantages include noise, few passengers at a time, and slowly pickup of the Surefly technology. Also, critics of the technology say that Surefly is not yet fully green, and so they should not be classified as clean air mobile. The helicopter has been around for 78 years and is being finally reinvented. The Surefly was developed to be a sustainable mode of personal transportation, serving as the first plug-in hybrid electric helicopter that puts the first bold stake in the sand for what personal electric helicopters might look like as the world pivots towards a fully electric transportation on land and in the air. And perhaps a little bit more time and capital will bring Surefly technology to your doorstep.